Could you imagine being told that you can't go into a certain place or that you can't do a certain thing because of the color of your skin or because of your gender? When we imagine a school we want to go to, we often think about what grades we need in order to get accepted. It's difficult to imagine being overlooked because of the color of our skin. This was one struggle that the African American community had to overcome. This was the reality for minorities in the early 20th century and even now in present day. Southern states were proud of their all-white universities and their severely rejected integration. I've heard a lot of family stories about the ongoing battle for civil rights, and I've also done a lot of research on an individual who helped pave the way for African American children and young adults. He triggered a chain reaction of justice for education opportunities for African Americans. Today, I will be informing you about James Meredith, the first African American to attend the University of Mississippi. According to a recent biography, James Meredith was born on June 25th in 1933 in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. He was born on a farm with 9 other siblings. Also, according to a recent biography, his first incident with racism was on a train to Chicago. When the train stopped in the town of Memphis, Tennessee, he was forced to give up his seat for a white man. He had to stand in the crowded black section for the rest of the ride. It was at this moment that he swore he'd dedicate his life to ensuring equality for African Americans. After completing high school, James enlisted in the Air Force for 9 years before attending Jackson State College, an all-blacks university in Mississippi. He applied for the University of Mississippi in 1961, and he was originally accepted until administrators found out that he was black, and he was rejected. Because of the Brown versus Board case in 1954, James filed a lawsuit against the university, alleging discrimination. The state's courts ruled against James, but his case made it to the Supreme Court, which went to his advantage. His case won on the appeal with the help of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. So, on October 1st of 1962, James Meredith became the first African American to attend the University of Mississippi. When James first stepped foot on Ole Miss's campus, there was a huge riot that stopped him from entering the school. The president at the time, John F. Kennedy, had to send in the National Guard to protect Meredith on his way to class. James stayed at Ole Miss for 3 years, and he even wrote about it in his novel titled 3 Years in Mississippi. James also organized a peaceful protest march from Memphis, Tennessee to Jackson, Mississippi in June of 1966. It was there that he was shot by a sniper, but after hospitalization, he resumed his peaceful protests. In conclusion, James's stand and demand for equality sent shockwaves across the nation. I hope my speech on James Meredith gave you some insight on how tough life was for African Americans in the 20th century. I also hope that this opens your eyes to the current problems that African Americans face in today's society.